call, product training call. My name is Alan Jones, and I am a nutritional biochemist. I'm the director of science for Make Wellness, and it is my privilege to be here tonight to talk to you about our products and our product philosophies, and I think we've got a really, really nice training call for you guys tonight. But before we get started, I want to take care of a couple of some legal issues that we need to talk about. So first off, before we start talking about products, I need to read the FDA disclaimer. And I want you to understand that these statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Now, with that said, let me tell you what our products and our company does intend to do. We intend to arm you with knowledge and tools that are going to allow you to take control of your lives. We're going to arm you with the knowledge and tools that you're going to need to get out of what is accepted in our culture today of an average of 5 drugs, polypharmacy, an average of 2 or 3 or 4 or more chronic illnesses and diseases. Our intent is to arm you with great information and great products and lifestyle, a way to modify your lifestyle so that you can take control of your life. And so while we might have to honor the FDA and have their disclaimer about the products not intending to do something, our company has great intent. And I'm glad personally that you're here with us tonight. And we're going to talk a little bit about that intent. So let's look at some of the problems that we face culturally and from a health perspective in our country. And Lord knows we have plenty of them. So one of the main issues that we have that really not many people talk about is an issue of low lean muscle mass. And you guys that have heard me talk about fit, one of the major problems is that as we begin to age into our 30s, as we enter into our 30s and our 40s, our bodies start to become less efficient at making muscle, at maintaining our muscle mass. And so one of those issues is, how do we maintain and keep our muscle mass, which is going to be how do we maintain and keep our functionality? So how do we increase muscle quality? How do we support our mitochondria? How do we enhance mitochondrial biogenesis? How do we make our cells basically work more effectively, more efficiently in producing energy? How do we prevent muscle protein breakdown? And remember what I've said about muscle turnover. Our body turns over 2% of our muscle every single day. And so if we don't rebuild that muscle properly, then we start to experience what's known as MPB, or muscle protein breakdown. The other thing is, how do we enhance recovery? Because recovery is a big deal, especially as we get older. We start to get into our 30s and our 40s and our 50s. We don't recover as effectively and as efficiently. So we suffer from longer periods of exercise-induced muscle pain. So how do we shorten those periods of times, what's going to help us become more physically active? And then how do we improve our metabolic fitness, which is going to help us improve our quality of life? And so to answer that question, all you have to do is look no further than this product right here. It's a product that we've trained on and we will continue training on. And you're going to hear a lot about this. You're going to hear a lot about bioactive precision peptides and how they can impact your body. And so we have solutions to the problems that we just addressed. Next set of problems, overweight and obese. Did you know that 50% of the United States population is considered overweight and obese, and over 10% of that population is called morbidly obese. In other words, obesity that's going to lead to some type of serious illness, serious disease. And so you have to understand that overweight and obese is a problem. And so how can we overcome that problem? We can do it with disciplined appetite control, with reduced caloric intake. And also, let me add to that, because when you look at reduced caloric intake, you need to look at enhanced caloric quality as well. So enhanced caloric quality is another major aspect of, actually going in and combating overweight and obese. How do we eliminate those food cravings that a lot of times make us overeat and affect us in that way? And then again, enhancing fat utilization, because all of us, no matter how fit we are, we still have a significant amount of energy tied up onto our bodies, just waiting to be released and utilized to fuel our bodies. And that energy is in the form of stored body fat. And so how do we, through the process of lipolysis and thermogenesis, utilize that stored body fat and burn that body fat for energy for our bodies to help our bodies perform properly? And then last but not least, of course, is how do we prevent fat storage? How do we prevent that fat from storing onto our bodies? Well, guess what? Like we talked about last week, we have a solution to that problem as well. So problems and solutions are what our company is about and is going to be about for the rest of our days as a company. Next, stressed out. How many of us are stressed out today? Stress is a major determinant of chronic illnesses and diseases. Stress accelerates aging. It speeds up the aging, the chronological aging of our cells, and affects us numerous ways, genetically, epigenetically. Stress is a major cellular aging determinant. Stress weakens our immune system, so that the more stressed we are, the sicker we are. Stress can lead to cardiovascular issues. Stress is a major underlying cause for hypertension. Hypertension is an underlying cause for heart attack, stroke, and other type of cardiovascular issues. Stress absolutely wreaks havoc on our digestive system. It destroys our microbiome. When our microbiome is out of balance, you have to understand that it is more susceptible to pathogenic bacteria, which means that we're going to get really sick. So it wreaks havoc on our digestive system. It wreaks havoc on our microbiome. It opens up our susceptibility to pathogenic illnesses as well. And last, but certainly not least, stress induces mental health problems. And we have a serious mental health problem in this country. Next problem that we have, low or no energy. Low energy is a significant determinant of cognitive function. So energy improves our cognitive function. Having energy to perform throughout the day, improves our mood. Guess what? Energy increases physical activity. We feel good. We're energized. Guess what? We want to go be active. We want to get out and do things. We want to go to the gym. We want to work in the yard. We want to do things that are more physically active. Go on a bike ride, go on a hike, whatever. But when we have the energy to do it, guess what? We're more physically active. Energy supports immune function. When we're energized and we're feeling good, we don't have time to sit there and allow our immune systems, because we're doing the things, we're eating right, we're physically active, our mood's positive, we're doing the things that we need to do to boost our immune system. And guess what? That helps us fight illnesses and diseases. And here, this might sound counterintuitive, but it's absolutely not. Energy improves sleep quality. So we get up through the day, we're not taking naps, we're not tired all day, we're not real lackadaisical, we're active, we're going to the gym, we're doing the things we need to do. Guess what? By the time it's time to go to bed at 9, 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, we're sleepy. We go to bed. We have good sleep quality. So energy, improves sleep. So again, more problems that our culture suffers from that we want to provide solutions to. Let's talk a little bit now about the pure promise. Okay. And the pure promise, we hit on it last week. We're going to continue to hit on that because I know that we've always got new people, and we want people to understand that our company is going to make a promise to do things right. And our pure promise regarding our formulas is exactly this. We are going to unlock nature's potential. We're going to do that by using bioactive precision peptides. We're going to do that with amino acids. We do that with other botanicals and other naturally derived compounds to help facilitate health and wellness. We are going to usher in the next age of nutrition technology. And that's with our bioactive precision peptides. And you'll see more and more trainings on bioactive precision peptides. I'm in the process of putting together a really nice research paper on bioactive precision peptides that'll give a lot of science behind the effectiveness, the efficacy, the stability, the biological activity of bioactive precision peptides. We're going to be foundational in our approaches, and our foundation is going to be built on bioactive precision peptides and amino acids. So virtually every product that we have will be peptide and amino acid based. And you'll learn more and more about the reason behind that as we go more and more in depth in our trainings. We're going to be unique and effective in everything that we do. We want unique products with unique physiological benefits, yet we want them to be effective. Now, guys, please understand that not every product is going to be perfect for you. Not every product is going to be perfect for everybody, but we're going to have a variety of products that are going to allow people to custom build programs that are going to give them the best benefit and the best physiological activity that they can possibly get. Okay. And then our products are going to be driven by science. And that's very important. We want to use science-based, evidence-based ingredients within our products so that we can support the physiological function of our bodies. Okay. Our manufacturers, we have very strict requirements for our manufacturers. Our manufacturers are going to be FDA registered and FDA inspected. Our manufacturers are going to be NSF GMP certified. All their facilities, all their SOPs, their operational procedures are going to be inspected and certified through a third party called NSF. Our laboratories, our product development and our quality laboratories are going to be GLP, good laboratory practice certified as well. Our facilities are going to be modern and efficient. They're going to have very efficient manufacturing equipment that doesn't break down. You heard me talk about it if you heard me speak last week, that if equipment breaks down, we don't have product, and we cannot afford to work with manufacturers who have equipment problems. We're not going to do it. And so our manufacturers are going to be modern. They're going to be efficient. They're going to have great manufacturing equipment. They're going to have significant manufacturing and operations experience. Guys, this is just as equally as important as the equipment. Good managers, good operators operate good equipment. Good maintenance guys, good engineers keep good equipment operating really, really good. And so, again, modern, efficient manufacturing equipment and the experience and expertise to run that equipment. Our facilities will have food scientists, analytical chemists, microbiologists. They're going to have the expertise that we need to be able to develop and test our products to ensure that our products have exactly what we want in those products. And they're going to have the capacity to expand as our business expands. That's incredibly important because if they're too small, if they can't grow, then they're not going to be good for us long term. And this is a long-term vision for our company that we have put in place. Our products, pure and potent. That is essential and non-negotiable. We're going to have testing points as the raw materials. And I put up here 3 testing points, but I'm telling you, they are actually going to be 4 testing points because those products are actually tested at the raw material supplier before they're even shipped to us, where they're tested again as raw materials. They're tested during the process of manufacturing, and they're tested as finished products. And so we're going to have multiple testing points throughout the entire manufacturing process. Potency, we're going to have verified vitamin and mineral potency and activity in our products. Purity, our products are going to be analyzed for bacteria, for yeast, for mold, for toxicity, things that can cause toxicity to our consumers. And then contamination. Glyphosate is the most well-known contaminant. That's only one of multiple contaminants that we test for, but just know that our products are tested for glyphosate, and glyphosate is absolutely detrimental to our health. So all third-party testing outside, we'll have in-house laboratory testing as well, but we have outside testing to make sure that our products actually comply and everything is working together just like it should be. So let's talk a little bit about bioactive precision peptides, our foundation. And I want you guys to understand that, like I said a while ago, we're ushering in a new era of nutrition technology. And because of that, because we're stepping on a lot of toes right now, we've got a lot of people that are saying stuff doesn't work. But guys, let me tell you something. The research behind our products, the research behind bioactive precision peptides, it is solid. It is solid. And I'll be totally honest with you. And Justin Prince will tell you this. I was very, very skeptical because I was very familiar with therapeutic peptides and how unstable they are. And I was not totally convinced that our bioactive peptides were what we were saying they were until I started diving into the research, which is another reason why I'm putting together this massive research study right now. I'm going through and doing a complete literature. Did you know that bioactive peptides have been researched since 1973? 1973. So bioactive peptides have been known to exist in our foods. They've been known to exist inside of our bodies. They've been known to exist in our plant kingdoms and our animal kingdoms. Bioactive peptides are everywhere, and our bodies have benefited from bioactive peptides. What has changed is the technology to actually isolate those bioactive peptides and determine their functional benefits. And that is so big. And that's why I'm saying, because of new technology, because of new ideas, because of new discoveries, we're discovering the benefits of these specific bioactive peptides. And in fact, if you look at a bioactive peptide, they're nothing more than small amino acid chains, but they're very, very, very specific, okay? So they're very, very specific. And that's why I say down here, it's high precision. They're very specific chains. Those chains have very specific biological functioning in the body. And I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but just know that they are found in nature. What protects a bioactive peptide versus a synthetic therapeutic peptide is that those bioactive peptides are encrypted in a protein peptide matrix that is protective to the biological function, the bioavailability of those peptides. That's what we're just now learning. When you hear us talk about we're unlocking the potential of nature, we're unlocking human potential even, we understand now that that unlocking happens within a protein peptide protective matrix. And that's what makes our peptides so much different than what you're seeing, the therapeutic peptide, the synthetic, the lab-grown peptides. they have no protective mechanism that actually allows them to remain intact. That's why you cannot take them orally. That's why they have to be injected, because they cannot maintain their stability. Bioactive precision peptides are very highly precise, and they're very, very potent. They elicit a physiochemical change in normal body processes. Again, how do they do that? They do that because they maintain their bioavailability. They do that because they're protected. They do that because they make it through the digestive system. They do that because they're able to withstand the blood, and they actually are able to basically target the actual cell signaling target that they're trying to hit. That's what makes our bioactive peptides so precise and safe and effective. The advantages of bioactive peptides: they're highly stable with improved functionality. Again, just like we talked about a while ago, the bioavailability occurs because of the protective peptide protein matrix. They have high target affinity and cell signaling accuracy. They are biologically active, and they're biochemically diverse. And I'll talk a little bit about biochemically diverse right now, because we haven't even began to touch the number of bioactive peptides that we're going to be able to bring to market within our company. We haven't even began yet. And so what you'll see is over the next 5 and 10 and 15 and 20 years, you're going to see an incredibly diverse product line with numerous different bioactive peptides that have multiple functions in bringing health and wellness to our bodies. They're extremely safe, they're tolerable, they're effective. They have a positive impact to human health, and they're in an oral delivery system, so there's no painful injections. Now, let's talk about what we all came to talk about tonight, and that is our product, Hydrated. So I'm going to give you a little bit of the benefits, the features and benefits of Hydrated, but I'm also going to talk about Hydrated. I'm also going to talk about Hydrated and how it works with Fit and Lean to enhance their functions as well. So hydrate, the benefits. One of the most important in my opinion, the most important ingredient is an ingredient called Solar Sea Sport. Now, this is actually an ingredient that's extracted from the Great Salt Lake right there in Utah. And I mean, right there where our company originates from. Clinical benefits, clinical studies on it. Basically, it helps to provide an optimal balance, improves that membrane potential. These electrolytes act as enzyme cofactors. They support enzymatic activity in different metabolic reactions. They help to maintain osmotic pressure. So that basically means the pressure inside cells and outside cells that help nutrients go in and out, and nutrients go in and toxins move out of the cells. These minerals, especially sodium, help with blood sugar regulation. Without proper sodium levels, our body cannot regulate blood sugar, because sodium is required to carry blood sugar into our cells for energy. So electrolytes help with energy production as well. And then these electrolytes keep our bodies balanced. They help our balance between the intracellular pH and extracellular pH to maintain consistent pH levels intracellularly and extracellularly, inside and outside. Another ingredient that we have is coconut water powder. And coconut water, most of you guys know, coconut water has tremendous physiological benefits. It's very, very rich in electrolytes. But one of the beautiful things about coconut water coconut water is that it's naturally isotonic. Now, what does that mean? Isotonic, this word. It basically means that it has the same concentration of electrolytes, sodium and potassium primarily, as human blood and plasma does. What does that mean? That basically means when it's an isotonic solution that we have the ability to go in and increase the rate of hydration, so it influences rapid hydration versus an imbalance in intracellular fluid, extracellular fluid inside the cell, outside the cell. And so when you look at isotonic is equivalent to blood and plasma. It influences rapid hydration. It helps to maintain fluid balance inside the cell and outside the cell. It also helps to improve exercise capacity because it supports endurance as well. And then it helps to support heart health. So that's our coconut water. Now, we do not have glucose or sugar like a lot of the other sport drinks do, because listen, we talked about a while ago the importance of sodium in carrying sugar into the cell through a sodium ATP transport system, okay? Understand this. If you consume a bunch of sugar at the same time you're consuming your sodium, the sodium actually is going to be extrapolated from the electrolyte and cause the sugar to be taken up, which is going to cause an imbalance in our sodium and our potassium and our cellular fluid regulation. Okay. When you hear about sodium retention and salt retention, understand that it's not the salt that's causing the retention. It's the sugar that's causing our bodies to retain salt, because it's sugar that requires salt to carry that salt across, or that it requires salt to carry that sugar across the cell, into the mitochondria of the cell where it's utilized for energy. Okay. So we do not use sugar. We use glycine, an amino acid, because the physiological benefits of glycine are just as effective, if not more effective, than sugar at helping those electrolytes get into our system. Okay. So the physiological benefits of glycine are improved water absorption by facilitating the transport of water and electrolytes across the cell membranes. Okay. We don't use sugar for that. We use glycine for that. It improves electrolyte balance by regulating levels of calcium chloride and potassium. It provides more effective sodium and fluid absorption than glucose does. And another beautiful benefit of glycine that sugar doesn't give us is that it supports energy metabolism by maintaining energy levels and endurance during physical activity or exercise. So glycine is a much, much better. I don't understand why people do not use glycine more, but you will not find many sport drinks with glycine. But our hydrate certainly has glycine combined with the electrolytes to help benefit the physiological function and maintain hydration. Now, here are the synergies between hydrate, lean, and fit. And so understand why it is, in my opinion, it's very important to take hydrate with both lean and fit, because hydration is essential for the optimal function of bioactive peptides, okay? Bioactive peptides work on a cell signaling mechanism. So if we do not have optimal cell signaling, then our bioactive peptides cannot have optimal effectiveness. So electrolytes are critical for proper cell signaling. And that is very, very critical that you understand that. Fluid balance is vital to the transportation of fuel and nutrients. Remember what we talked about with lean a while ago. Lean basically requires or actually causes us to pull stored body fat. And so how do we transfer that fuel into our cells? Well, we do that because of fluid balance. We do that because of osmotic pressure. We do that because of the ability of our fluids to carry those nutrients into cells. Sodium balance and availability are absolutely crucial for the uptake and utilization of blood glucose. We talked about that a while ago. And so if you're on a diet of higher carbohydrates, or if you're consuming a lot of carbohydrates, then you've got to have enough sodium to basically fulfill both functions of that sodium. Number one is fluid balance. Number two, glucose uptake. And so, again, I'm not a huge proponent of eating a bunch of carbohydrates or drinking a bunch of carbohydrates before a workout or anything like that. I would much rather have the glycine. I would much rather have my sodium and potassium working on my fluid balance, maintaining my homeostatic balance between my fluids intracellularly and extracellularly. So I would much rather have all that than I would having sugar going in and disrupting that, especially prior to a workout or prior to a long exercise session or physical activity session or run or biking or whatever you're doing. And so, and then last and probably most important is that achieving metabolic fitness, which is our ultimate goal, requires an optimal balance of intracellular and extracellular fluids. And so you cannot achieve optimal metabolic fitness without being homeostatically balanced in our fluids. It will not happen. So that's the end of our training on hydrate tonight. I want to remind you guys one more time, science at makewellness.com. Listen, we're getting your questions. We're compiling those questions. We're building our library of questions and answers. And at some point, you will see a library of questions and answers that we will be putting up for you guys to go in. And it's going to be informational, educational. It's going to be everything you could ever dream of. And that's what our company is going to be. It's a company, it's a company by guys that have been in this business for a long time, that know what it takes to be successful. And I have to tell you guys, I'm proud to be a part of it. I love the science-driven aspect of this company. And guys, we are having one heck of a lot of fun. And I just want to thank you for joining us tonight and being a part of this. And hopefully you can come back next Thursday and hear us talk about the next product. So you guys have a great night, and I look forward to seeing you soon.